Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. What the heck is this on my screen? Well, it came up recently that on one of my YouTube videos from someone who has been subscribed for a while to that channel saying, hey, it's good that you make videos again. It looks like you've lost a lot of weight. Well, yes, I have lost a lot of weight. When I started on my low carb slash ketogenic diet, I was 366 pounds the day that I started. So I started on August 18th, 2017. So the picture there on the left is from about a month prior to that. And yeah, I was about 366 pounds. I have been very, very obese for my entire life, basically, up to this point. Or up to that point, I should say. I was 26 when I started the diet. And then you see there, July 23rd, 2018. So I can't believe it's already almost been a year since then. The image on the right, that was me at just under 230 pounds. As of like right now, today, I am 191.2. That was my weight this morning. I've kept daily weight measurements, and I've been hovering around this 190 range for several months, so I think my body's pretty much at its equilibrium point of and telling me, hey, I want to stay at 190, even though I want to lose another 10 or 15. I want to get under 180 is what I want to be at, is like around 180 mark, because I think 183 will be uh for my height, the quote normal BMI. Because at the moment I am considered still overweight. I'm no longer obese. I'm overweight for my BMI. But yeah, so that was something I just wanted to mention at the very start of the stream today. Let me turn that off. That is the display capture. And let's load up Factorio and actually play. So today we are doing the Angels playthrough. I've got the cat next to me. He's feeling a lot more normal today. I think he has already complained to me about wanting to eat lunch, even though it's 11 o'clock, so yeah, he hasn't had his lunch because he hasn't complained for his lunch in, gosh, over a week at this point, so such is life with a, shall we say, senior cat. He is. Uh, Maybe some wouldn't consider him senior. I think he's not quite 10 years old. When we adopted him, he was supposed to be like 2 or 3, maybe a little bit older, and that was in 2011, late 2011. And he has some health issues, to say the least. Um, some stuff in his intestinal area around his intestines that causes inflammation and makes it difficult for him to do very specific things. And it impacts his eating and wanting to do anything, actually. So, today on the Angels playthrough, it is Iron Time. The track I played at the beginning of the stream as I started the stream was the search for iron, yet again, because that appears to be what our primary issue is for the day to solve. So, I need iron, I need some non-zero amount of steel to do this as well. I did work a little bit on this morning. Give myself an idea of what needs to be done and what I want to do. That was that practice, quote-unquote practice save that you saw a little bit ago when I loaded this save. So, first thing... Pretty sure that's the spot. Yep. I need to run the sulfuric acid out, because the first thing that we will have to do is set up the production of slag slurry. So I'm going to run this out in the direction of our electrolyzer setup. That will be down here. I will need a second... Well, actually, I'll need some overflows, and I'll need a flare stack. So there's a flare stack. I can do Mark II electrolyzers and liquefiers. Interesting. Not gonna make them right now, though. But I am going to build the electrolyzers and get all of this set up. And I'm going to have to do that, and you'll see why. So let's get the thingy there. I need the overflow valve, wherever the heck they ended up. Where are you? Where are you, overflow valves? I know I just made you. There you are. Here, go someplace useful. Oh, I apparently have one more. Alright, there you go. Yeah, that'll work. Ooh, that will have to work right there. Set up these in the middle, because they actually have to be in the middle, and I'll have to adjust how these things are powered. But I've got plenty of medium power poles for these. That does it there. Then make sure these things have some water. There's the water. Then they need the outputs piped up. So the whole purpose of this is slag. It exists only for slag, and it gives us oxygen for the production of steel. So I have the oxygen for the steel. Bit too much on the hydrogen for now. Eventually I will need hydrogen for certain processes, but I do not at the moment need the hydrogen. And then I need to actually make the hydrogen. Hook up the hydrogen, I should say. And I'm going to do this out here. I could have just adjusted the inserters to go out one more, but not gonna bother. And that is slag. So the slag has come. It has arrived. Now, liquefiers. I'm going to have... How do I want to set this up? What orientation? Because I'm going to need sulfuric acid in and slag slurry out. And that's going to basically use up the space, so just have to think about, well, how do you want to tile it? And how do I want to arrange this? Because if I go this way and tile up, I'll need longer inserters, or figure out some way to do it differently. I prefer using loaders on these just because of how much slag will end up being both produced and consumed, rather than using inserters. So to set this up using loaders, which I currently only have 2, I probably only need 1 for the electrolyzers that we currently have. I will set up like this, and it will tile this way. We are making, of course, slag slurry out of slag. Probably want it this way. And then what I can do is this. Then this will, of course, go upwards from there. So that this way I can have loaders there. And then I can just divert. And power. Hey, there we go. So now I just need to hook up the sulfuric acid. As one would expect, this is currently a temporary setup until we require bigger scale. Much bigger scale. Alright, so that is the slag slurry. Now I need to filter the slag slurry. This will require filter frames. I've already built filtration units and crystallizers last time. I'm just gonna run down here to grab some more underground pipes. And I want to run to the end here to grab steel, because I sort of want as much steel as possible. I am greatly looking forward to this. Being able to finally have as much iron ore as I want. Tech! Good. I want ore processing 1 so that I can just have all of the iron. Actually, will I? Yeah. I will. Oh, you also need strand casting to do the iron, the advanced iron. Alright, so hopefully by the time I start building up the Angel's Metallurgy buildings for the iron that I will be producing off of the smelting that we're going, not the smelt, off of the ore sorting that we're going to do today, I will have that tech. Ideally. Now, I need to consider where I want to do the filtering. Ideally, I would do the filtering near the coal. I could technically do it anywhere if I wanted to use all of the necessary belts. I would put it onto the bus, actually. I would have the main bus producing the mineral catalysts and do the filtering for it. But I don't really have a ton of belts. How many do I have stored? 75 right now. Just primarily because there's not enough iron going into it. So to solve our problem, I need to have this filtering and crystallization into mineral catalysts done in a lot closer position. I'm also going to make some mining drills because we're going to be mining some gibbolite soon. Soon. I also need a couple clarifiers for this process. And fortunately, I have a hydro plant. So what do we need to do this filtration? Well, I need to build I need purified water in, as well as the slurry that we're making. I will also need coal in for the coal filters. That will do the filtering. Now, the way I like to do this, and I'm going to set this up. This is going to be a little bit to the side. But I generally... Where are my filters? There they are. I do a line of the filters like so. And it's going to be set up as I usually do with pipes. But I need to have inserters. 2 inserters per building. One to get the filters in, and the other to take the spent filters out. Now, in this case, the spent filters are just the filter frames, which will be turned into coal filters here at the end, or anywhere on the line. I'm going to have 2 buildings doing it. It's in here making coal filters. And I'm going to have the coal coming in right there. Now, I'm going to also need to go in and out, in and out. So, what is the trick to this? Well, I'm going to go out and around. And that is how you do everything with catalysts in Angel's Mods. People will be annoyed if they're not identical, so... Oops. And then just make them long inserters. So what this will do is it will output spent filters onto the outside lane of the loop, and these will put fresh filters onto the inside lane of the loop without having to make any major adjustments. So if you, for some reason, were not running Bob's Logistics and don't have the adjustable inserters. That's how you would do it with long handed inserters and regular ones. I need strand casting next. So, isn't that all convenient? Now, I mentioned I needed clarifiers. I'm actually going to hotbar the clarifiers. So, I need to clarify saline water, and I am choosing to clarify our waste product. Our waste product for this process is sulfuric wastewater. Now you may be thinking, oh hey, can't you do that to make the can't you use that to make the sulfuric acid that you're using to process the slag in the first place? Yes, I can. But I would have to go and set that up, and I will go and set that up, but right at this very point in time, I will be clarifying it because I want non-zero mineral catalysts and to start up the iron production. I want to get it moving so that I can start doing glorious things. No, I want just regular pipes. And then fresh water in. Fortunately enough, I have a wonderful source of fresh water right over here. Now, how do I want to move it over? I'd rather not foul up anything on this ore patch. It is a very important ore patch, as you might imagine. So I will probably use the line that's not going to the electrolyzers. To do this, because I think this one uses less of the pump's throughput. Then I'm just going to go around all this. I could go down through it, maybe, but it would be ugly. Incredibly ugly. Just hope I have enough of these undergrounds. I do not. I am precisely one short. Well, do I have any extra anywhere? I do. That one is not necessary. Alright, then, just need to get things wired up. Excuse me, but, right, I need, hello, iron. Remember what I said about wanting to have that tech before we get to that point. So, now it's coal in. Fortunately enough, I have coal that I can send in. There's coal. Shift C to send in filter frames that I've already made some of. I will need more to deposit in. And it will start producing mineral sludge once I hook up the slag slurry. Just gonna finish off the filter frames that I'm handcrafting. Guess I need more underground pipes. Let's go grab them. Now, you'll note I'm making underground I'm making pipes out of copper, and you can see I'm having some issues with copper at the moment. But if I had to choose one or the other, copper or iron, at this phase of the game, I guess I should actually be doing stone. You know what? I'll do stone. I will do stone. I will make these into stone instead of copper. And it's easy enough to switch these out. So that will actually consume some stone bricks for me. I have, shall we say, a lot of stone bricks. Now to hook up the slurry, the slag slurry that I am making up here. I'm going to move it over here this way. Hello, iron. Hello, copper. Now, this processing will be more efficient. These techs that I'm getting, the metallurgy processes are much more efficient. And it's working! I'm making slurry. And then the last step to make the catalysts is to send the slurry to crystallizers. Just to send the new fluid. Is that aligned properly? Into crystallizers. Making catalysts. Now I could also make ore with crystallizers. That's part of the point. It's a percentage-based chance based on how much mineral sludge you've got. Or you can just make the catalysts and never have to worry about anything ever again. And these will consume all of the slurry. Don't you worry, this will consume all of it. Now, how do I want to get rid of all of it? Probably like this. Say hello to mineral catalyst production. It is here. It has arrived. And in the grand scheme of things, not that hard. It is not difficult. It has certain steps that you need to follow, but once you get it done, you're good. Now, time to mine some givelite. Start mining this, crushing this, and doing all the wonderful, beautiful things. What's the acid needed? Hydrofluoric. Good to know. How far can I go? What line can I draw? That's the line that I choose to draw. Can I get some big poles? No, because I don't have enough steel. I've used all my steel. Speaking of steel, advanced steel. is very important. Necessary, in fact. Now, I should mention, I now have a non-zero amount of sulfuric acid that I have piped over, which means I can officially start infinite mining of sapphirite. But, I mean, what's the point until after I mine out everything else? Don't want to, hamstring myself. Why am I going this way? I guess I just want stuff. I want steel. That's why I'm heading out this way. I have to run to the very end of my steel beltway, to grab what's been collecting. I should just collect it at the source. I mean, why bother if it's not being used at all on the beltway at the moment? There's no point in actually belting it. I should just store it. Getting so little of the stuff anyway. Huh. All of the actual iron... half of the actual iron ore goes into that steel smelting anyway, so... The iron ore one, remember we're doing direct crushing. Over here, it's direct crushing into this, but that's about to change. That is about to change now. Big poles. Let there be big poles. Hook it up, start running. So big poles are meant to run your electricity longer distances, clearly. I also have access to medium poles, which means I can start doing this. Which is fantastic. I can now have a lot better compression of my mining drills because I can have them back to back now. Okay, where do I want to do my crushing of the gibbelite? Let's do advanced tin. No, that was nickel. Ugh. Tin. Alright, so I need to crush the gibbelite and do something with the crushed stone. I can clarify it, or I can use it to make more slurry, which is the whole point, I would imagine. That is the point. Make more and more slurry. It just requires that I run the sulfuric acid out to do it on site. Go through this process on site. And then I would have to run the slag slurry back. Now once I run out of these undergrounds, I'll use the last of the iron ones, and then clear that out and put down stones. Now, I'll note that... Oh, I'm running this way too far. I'll note that all of these 3 different kinds, the iron, the copper, and the stone, have the exact same distance that the undergrounds will travel. But as we go through the tiers, we will get access to longer distances for the undergrounds. Alright, so it's here. It's down here. Do I have any ore crushers? Of course not. Of course not, as the cat returns to my side. Get some crushers. I'll also need some sorting facilities. Ooh, I can get Mark II crushers. Ooh, that would be nice. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Don't go in front of my screen, Cole. I know you want to, but don't. I said don't. I'm holding him back. Stay right where you are. You're there for... I put you there for a reason. He's being insistent. Here's a tail. Silicon. Yeah, silicon. That's an important tech. Well, now that I can't see, thanks to Kitty being in the way. This is Gibbolite, crushing, sorting. Give me crust stone on the right. This will go to one of these. Now I usually do have a loader on these. Just going to make a few of those. Start shoving them in. Probably shouldn't have that there, but I'll fix it if it becomes a problem. Or now. Okay. Cool beans. Say hello to crushed gibbolite. Now, do I have any silos? I do have silos. Now, I'm going to start doing this. Trust me. I have my reasons. I have my reasons, and they will become clear much later on. Let's just say that these things upgrade into logistical silos. And as inefficient as that is, I still use it because it's easy. Those rocks annoyed me. This rock even more annoys me because it's in my way. Doink. And that is how that is handled. So, where... Oh, hello, silicon. Tier 2. Okay. Individual crushed ore... Well, individual ore sorting with this. This is going to divert these. Really? So, yet again, I want a silo, and I want my loaders loading. Then this is going to go north. And over. And then this is going to go north. And over. And then it's the ore sorting facilities. Now, I'll note that since I don't have the next tier for the inserters, the next distance tier, I'm going to leave it as this. I'm going to need more out, thanks. Oh, you're kidding. Requires Mark IIs. Mark IIs. I need to grab more clay bricks. Fortunately, I have a sufficient amount, I'm sure, over at the end of the bus. Might have a full stack. At least, I should have at least a full stack of 1,000 of these bricks. How many do we have? All the way out here. We have 2 full stacks. 2.6k. Make my ore sorting facilities. My Mark IIs. Still thinking about what I'm gonna do exactly about more copper. Think I'll just have to make engines. And make locomotives. Start running trains. Or trains. I went and I ran right past my steel. because I still want 2 ore sorters. Now to get these put correctly. Alright. Cool. I also need to make sure that I provide power directly to the machines. Really? There you go. And then let there be iron. Please. Right. Say hello to iron. Iron ore production. Good. Why? Oh, you're a blue tech. Right. Well, that's sad. All that time just spent. So, iron will need to be processed. I want to do processing with crushed ore. So I will do just that. It is, at this point, 2 crushers to 1 blast furnace, if I'm not completely mistaken. I'm pretty sure it's 2 to 1. Now, yet again, posed with the issue of where to do this. Now, this process will make steel plates, will end up making iron plates directly. It will also make steel plates directly, but anyway. It will require a lot of machines that I don't currently have. So I'm going to put it here. Down here. I'm going to need to get more belts. Actually, no, I've got grays, so that should be fine. It will be fine. Now, I also have to plan for an additional building. So, I will get access to this thing called the pellet press a bit later on, and it gets fed by 2 of these. So these go into a pellet press, goes into the furnace, the blast furnace, and everything is good. But I need to make sure that the space is there. Where is my blast furnace? So and I also need to make sure that the spacing is right. So let's actually... I'll do it. Give me that. I'll do it this way. I'll mark off the edges. Searching, where did they go? There. This will need coke into feeding induction furnaces, feeding casting machines. Ta-da! And there is the space to adjust this to add a pellet press in the middle. And then, of course, that will be iron ore in. This will be processed iron. This will be iron ingots from processed iron and coke. And this will be molten iron from iron ingots. And these will be iron plates from molten iron. Welcome to Angel's Metallurgy. This is the introduction, I suppose, to all of it. I can officially reroute all of this. And in fact, what I want to do, what I should do is, you know, route the, ore in to this same beltway. There we go. That will be fine. Trust me. It'll be fine. And I'm just gonna run the iron plates through here. I can officially kill this smelting line. I need to have the poles, though, doing a thing. There we go. Yep, don't need that split off at all, or any of this nonsense. Go back. Guess I do need this for the steel, for now. And this is iron plates in. Yes, I can set this up. Much larger process to make steel, but I will need plenty of steel to do that in the first place. Now the way I will run the coke... gas steam cracking, please. Is it will be here and run that way. So now to run the coke line all the way down, because I have the coal line. There's the coke right down there. Coke and carbon. It depends on what I do on this line. This smelting line. Metallurgy line, I should say, I guess. Because I will have a line, this will be iron and associates, So, it'll be iron and steel and cobalt minimum. Probably also nickel for Invar plates. Is Invar nickel? Can I even make Invar? At the moment, no. Well. It is nickel and steel. So, yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. Couple things, actually, that require steel that we will need. And that's one of them. Nickel, and the other one's cobalt steel. Because for some reason, just cobalt plates aren't actually used for anything in the mod itself. But cobalt steel, on the other hand, yeah, that one gets used pretty consistently. Alright, please have enough, belts to get where I need you to go. I'm sending it to here. Really? And that's that. It is now complete, and we are getting our first iron plates. Why is it not operating at peak? Yeah, it should be even amounts, both sides. Is it just... Ah! My inserters cannot insert fast enough. That is, a bit of a problem. Can you insert fast enough now? Yes, I think they can. The inserters must insert. And there we go. Welcome to the party, additional iron plates. Well, that's that. That's what, that is the extent of what my plans were today. And it's not even the break time yet. Still got about little under half an hour for the break time. Okay. That's iron. Welcome the iron. Now, I will also note, this is now all of our iron production. This entire smelting line is officially dead. Dead to the world. Now, are we producing any more than what we were producing before? Probably not, actually. In all actuality, it's probably not much of a difference at all. In fact, if anything, it would be less because we would be moving more of the iron into the inefficient steel production. Half of our current iron plate production is being spent on steel. Inefficient steel production. But I think, actually, we're still getting more. We might still be getting a little bit more overall on the steel, which on the iron, which is interesting to say the least. So going from that previous process to this one is significantly better. Now, I will also note, yes, I'm still doing this process here, and I actually need more of this going. In fact, it might be a good idea. I don't have the Mark II or processing machines, so it's not a good idea, to say the least, to upgrade everything else to Mark II, because they're just going to be limited to Mark I speeds. Hello! Hello, Twitch chat. Regardless, I now have the ability to add more, so I will add more. As I continue to get the steel that I need to make more through an inefficient steel process, and then I will eventually be able to make the efficient steel process, the more efficient steel process, I should say. Which I think I'll do right next door. In fact, I may as well start getting the buildings for that. Now, how do I usually do this? So steel is a bit of a pain because alright, so the start is the same. The start to this. It will be... This is just to, This is just to plan the spacing for when I get the pellet presses. So it's the same to here on... No, not that one. That one. It's the same to here on the iron. Oh, wow! First donation ever, Ligma! $1.12. Wow, thank you so very much. That is greatly appreciated. Ooh, boy. Who knew? That, yeah, that is highly appreciated. Thank you so very much. I will definitely need a lot more belts going forward. Wow, that's actually thrown me a bit. Wow. I don't know. I don't know what to say, how to respond. I'm somewhat speechless, outside of thank you so much. First one ever while streaming. Read my nickname on the donation. Did I not? Did I not? Let me bring up my... I have to bring up the dashboard on the other screen. Let's see, it said... Yeah, Ligma. Ligma is what it said. My Negro. Right, yeah. Yeah. I get it. I understand. And I said it, too. This will be steel ingots. Oxygen gas in, so that's the other thing that makes this complicated. What next? Zinc. Zinc to plan for the future. I will need zinc. This will go in the middle. So the way that this will be... Ooh. Do I really want to do it like this? I don't want this spacing. And that's how that will be. More steel is required. Now, the whole reason for this is that it will feed into a single steel. So this will feed in, both of these will feed a single steel, because steel requires 12 ingots every 4 seconds. These produce 6 steel ingots every 4 seconds, each of these, off of 2 lines. So, yeah, it's a lot of machines, and it's a lot of input to make steel, but we will be producing a lot of steel out of this. This should take care of us for a long time, and I won't even need this area anymore. I need casting machines, probably not that many. Wait. Yes, because this is just one casting machine. Makes 120 molten steel. It will feed, or one induction furnace, it will feed three casting machines. So, when thinking about this, congratulations, this is half to do 6. To do the same thing that you do with iron, with steel, requires another set next door. Yeah. Quite space... not particularly space friendly on the steel. Am I even bringing in the iron fast enough? I am with 2, so that's good to know. I suppose this will be coke in. I generally just do a pipe all the way across. Advanced brass, alright. Long inserters here. Well, inserters that I will make long. Then I need the inserters here. Now I'll run into the same issue, I think. Where I will need more. That doesn't work. Yeah, there's gonna be some slowdown just from the type of inserter that I am using. At most, I can add one. Because what I can do is this, and make it 5. These should work, though. I can even do one more underneath if I need it. But 3 seems to work here. I mean, these are only making 6, so I might not even need that many. Yeah, if these only make 6 into the 12, it shouldn't really matter, but anyway. Go across. These will make steel plates. And I will do a very basic belt balance there. Then I have to run the oxygen, probably from there, and add in the coke line. Looking forward to finally killing the area up there. That will be incredibly satisfying. Ah, zinc processing. Cool. That's unfortunate. Alright, welcome to the party. Oxygen. Oxygen is now included. I probably don't actually have enough belts to run this steel where I need it ran. Let's go grab some more belts, and let's break this now. I no longer need this line at all. In fact, I can run the steel directly here. Necessary resources. Give me back all of my inserters and pipes and belts and all this good stuff. And I no longer need this entire run of coal. That's that. It is dead. I could even just run this a little closer, but this is the one furnace line that stays here. Ugh. Yes, I hear you, Cole, meowing at me. Can't really make these yet, because I'm not making brass. Yet another project once I start doing copper and tin metallurgy. I'm here for belts. Belts, belts, belts. I should actually be producing belts faster now that I have all of the iron coming in. Oh, I did not balance this right. I didn't balance this at all. Other way, buddy. That is the way. So I have the option of running this down and then up here, or doing it up here and then over. Because of that furnace in the way, I'm probably just doing it this way. Yes, I hear you, Cole. I know you're hungry. And the steel has now joined the party. Wow, this is a level of progress I was not quite expecting over the course of the whole stream. So, yeah. Anyway, I now have steel. The steel can safely back up. I now have a more efficient steel, I should say. It can safely back up just fine. The iron ore cannot safely back up at the moment until I get individual copper ore sorting, which I think might be our next project. I can increase how much iron plates come in as one of the next things to do. Just keep scaling the iron plates coming in. And of course I can just upgrade the gray belts to yellows here. Should probably do that anyway. Now that I have a more sufficient amount of plates being produced. What do I want? Plastic. Plastic is what I want. Now, I will note that at the moment, changing these from grays to yellows is somewhat pointless, but it will have a point when I add a whole another line producing the iron plates, a whole another section producing iron plates. And that will be right next door. Oh, it looks like... Aha! It looks like I am now using all of the ore coming in. So if I want to do additional plate production, I will need some more ore. Which I can arrange. Oh, yeah, I can arrange that, most definitely. But is there... Are there any issues to fix? On the ore side of things. If there are issues, I should fix them. If there's not issues, it's just not... It's just I need more. Well, I will figure out what I need more of. And start making more. So, how's this? Okay. So, first fix will be 2 additional outputs. And then I need additional inputs. Oh yeah, that's the other thing that will end up happening now that I have more sufficient... Excuse me, didn't I say start researching something? I will have more sufficient science being produced. Alright, so I have now made it so that these 2 are operating at their peak efficiency. I could add another machine there. I definitely have the belt throughput for it. But I think I might be limited by the copper now. I think I might be limited by the copper. I'm still chewing through everything. Yeah, so I think I will just need the copper, because I might... trying to think of what I want to do as the next thing. Oh, I can start doing the steel furnaces too, that's the other... And then there's the inserter capacity bonus, logistics 2. I could always set up logistics 2. It will need bronze. This is part of my issues, so... I now have the catalysts I need to do individual ore sorting. My nearest source of copper through cotinium and steatite is all the way down here. Or all the way up there. This will require a lot of belts, or it will require trains. I might have to do trains. Oh wow, I didn't even notice this existing here. This is iron ore. Gosh, didn't even notice. And I didn't even notice that this is cretinium right here. Were more resources... Did more resources, like, spawn on me? I didn't even... Huh. Anyway, closest sources of steatite are still quite distant from me, which means that I need to head out and grab them and either do the ore sorting there or bring it back. Because regardless, wow, this area is just... I have more iron I have a lot of iron. I should say not more than I need, but I have a lot of iron compared to everything else. Not a lot of places for the individual sorting of tin, which will be stereotyte and bobmonium. I should go up here next, and this will also give me real lead production. I am mining this progalena at the moment. I'm backed up on the lead, but anyway. Give me belts. I will probably be needing all belts all the time. I'm carrying around a ton of glass and coal now. Do I have like a chest nearby? Trash chest? Probably not. Anyway, as I deposit the random stuff that's sitting in my inventory at the moment, I will say that it is time to take a break. Time for the lunch break. I will be back shortly. Have to get up, stretch my legs, do all that, grab something to eat, come back, and it will be time to scheme for a little bit while I eat, and then once I'm back, we will be back and continuing with it, going with the schemes discussed during the break. I will be back shortly. Welcome back. Break is over. Logistics 2 is researched. I have many things that I want now that Logistics 2 is researched. I will need railway and the ability to make trains to get my longer term source of copper. I also want the inserter rotation. I also want the inserter capacity, which is here. So, and I want the car, to be completely honest. I also do want the car. So as for what to do first, well, more inserters is only 25 units of science at 15 seconds apiece, so that will go quickly. While I wait on the science, I may as well start focusing on scaling up the iron. So I will go ahead and I will do that. I will scale up my iron production and start try to get a couple belts of iron plates going here down this line. Get far more sufficient amounts of things. This will require a lot more mining drills. Oh, and I also want the steel furnaces. Oh boy. Give me railways next. Absolutely want the railways. Take a bunch of those, and those. I will also need those. And what's limited here? The basic circuit boards? You mean these? I'm limited by these? Alright. Fine. Then what are you limited by? Just the iron. Alright. I'm fine with being limited by the iron plates. But don't tell me that I'm limited by beds and the circuits, the even more basic circuits. Because I know I'm not. I guess what I can do... First thing is first, I need to upgrade. Are you growing or shrinking? You are about the same. Interesting. So I do have some options. I guess what I can do is start upgrading all of this stuff to the Mark II variations. Of course, I have to wait for things to handcraft at the moment. Now, how are you doing? You are simply just not capable of outputting fast enough. This is why I want the inserter capacity bonus. So that these can hold 2 items in their hand at a time. Makes things a lot nicer and easier. So the benefit of going up to Mark II on these machines is, well, I will end up also producing more copper, which I happen to also need more copper. Looks like I also need... Is this not even running at full capacity because I don't have enough ore? This isn't even running at full capacity because I don't have enough ore. Okay, well, that's the first problem to fix. I need to upgrade my machine, my mining operation. I must have a better mining operation going because I haven't even saturated the possibilities of this. What's the point of upgrading to Mark II if you don't have enough ore to feed it? Oh, looks like I need to grab some bebs. Oh yeah, maybe I should mention, if you also are watching the Pyanodon playthrough that I started yesterday, I will be continuing it tomorrow, and I am glad to report I found the wood. I found the forest near us, the nearest forest. It is somewhat close by, but I have found it, and the trees shall not exist for long. And progress will become a lot faster. I have wonderful plans and schemes for tomorrow. Oh, I also want my tool belt. I'm here for the inserter capacity. Just give me that, and all will be well in the universe. then on this front, the inserters aren't fast enough, for one. You only have one outputting. Oh my gosh, all the errors. Once I get the capacity bonus, these guys will essentially act like they're two. Alright, so do I have enough ore running through at the moment? Yes, I do. Once I upgrade to Mark II stuffs and things, I will then also likely need more mining. But I'll get to that when I get to that. Still waiting on the crafting of things. It's making the Mark II ore facilities. Oh hey, I've got these. Lots of these. In fact, what I can do now is say, hey, don't ever use the Mark I's again. Must get some assembling machine Mark IIs. I have been storing a lot of stone. I don't know why I've been storing a lot of stone, but I've been storing a lot of stone. When I don't really need to. Anymore. Oh, hello. That would end up eventually being a problem, I think. Once I, you know, fill up the thingies here. Oh, hello. You're full of the copper pipes, so you can't even make the stone pipes here. How are you doing? Making non-zero stuff. Cool. I like when it makes non-zero. Clean up this mess of things. The mess of stuff. Give me more of these mining drills. Alright, now, Mark II. These guys. Hey, capacity bonus. Cool. Automated rail transportation. You don't need to exist. None of these need to exist. Oh my. Hello. I think I'm producing a sufficient amount of slag. Alright, it's yanking it in. Huh. Why was it... It's backing up on the slag slurry briefly, and I don't know why. Anyway. Well, that saves me those machines, at least. Hello, backup! That's what I like to see, actually. I am backing up on the iron ore. I am not backed up on the iron plates or the steel plates, so that means I can now expand. So do I want to expand with more steel, or do I want to expand with more iron? I'm going to expand with more iron. And as usual, I will plan the spacing out first. Extend this out. I suppose I could just do a copy-paste. Because that's how it will ultimately be. And then it's just running. Let's do it on this side. And the reason to do it on this side, excuse me, is so that I can then do another one on over here. Now, unfortunately, I do not have the power to jump over all of that. Do I have the power to jump over that? I do. So I will. Welcome to more iron plates. We are not saturated yet, though. Also, there should be no problem moving. Yeah. No problem moving the, stuff between machines now that the capacity bonus has gone up. Why are you having issues? Is it not 2 to 1? Two processed every 2 seconds, 1 per second, times 2. 8 per 4 seconds. 2 per second. Total 2 per second. There shouldn't be a problem there, but there is. And I don't know why. These are producing... I guess it's just the speed of the inserter at this point. It's just inefficiency in how quickly the inserters can turn around. That's all that really is, I think. Anyway, I'm still not consuming all of the ore that's coming in. All that just from a simple little upgrade in the system. Is it it? Is this it? I think this is the proper spacing. Now you'll note how convenient it is that there is a one-tile gap between the induction furnaces. Don't need those there at all. Probably need it there, though. Really? Out of inserters. Was not expecting to be out of inserters. I guess I should go grab more inserters. Fortunately, I had exactly enough, the ability to make exactly enough to feed all this. Let's break that down. So, while not particularly space efficient, it is highly resource efficient compared to the previous processes. Well, the previous furnace line process. You can see now I am finally consuming all of the iron ore coming in. This little bit here is shrinking, so it will be totally consumed. And I'm still not making a fully compressed yellow belt worth of plates. I'm also backing up on steel. What I might want to do, actually, is something that I tend to do anyway at the beginning of my bus, and that is putting down warehouses for each of the important things that are entering into the bus. So we're talking iron plates, we're talking steel plates, copper plates, bronze, brass, tin, nickel, zinc, cobalt steel, invar, gold and silver plates, all of those. And I put down sets of warehouses at the start of the bus. So the convenient part about having a bus with lanes that are 6 wide is that, guess what? Warehouses are precisely 6 wide. What do I want next? Probably just the unlock. Actually, I want the unlock of the smelting train because it seems appropriate to use. Also, the yellow belts can jump across warehouses easily. They easily just jump across. Since I'm backing up on steel and all, I figured now is the time to put down steel so that I can keep producing it for a significantly longer period of time. Because warehouses are awesome, and we will eventually get access to logistical warehouses. So they can actually start being passive provider chests, essentially. So all that being said, I am absolutely now consuming all of the ore that's coming in. Oh, and during all of this, the copper is increasing slowly. Remember, we produce 1 unit of copper ore for every 2 units of iron ore in this whole process. What do I want next? I want steel furnaces, I want tool belts, I want automobiles. Okay, I'm limited by ore, which means it's time to start placing ore production. And you know what? I'm going to actually start converting this entire setup to the increased compression setup. Or the increased space efficiency setup. And B, start plugging in the infinite ore patches. Now, thing is, if I'm going to do it this way, I need to feed in via pipe somehow the sulfuric acid for it. Speaking of which, I happen to have it. Now, usually this would mean feeding in on this side. So I suppose I'll skip this position rather than move it to the side just for aesthetical reasons. Aesthetics. Because it looks prettier. Or it looks not as bad as shifting thing a tile. But on the other side, I can have as much as I want. No, not there. Oh, this is not pretty. Can you just... like, go there. Like that. So that way I can do this. And they are all producing! Now, it only uses 1 unit of sulfuric acid per machine per cycle, so it's minuscule amounts, but it's a non-zero amount, so it's necessary to have. Now on this side, I don't have to worry about the pipe coming in. I don't have to worry about the pipe because it's going to feed in all from this one pipe, so I can put the full array down there of miners. Speaking of which, more! Am I now saturated with ore? I am. So it is now operating at its peak efficiency. Question of the day would be, do I now double it? It would be really difficult to expand this, to tile this, I should say, because of this stuff in the way. These pipes are just a little bit in the way to do that. Ooh. The power just flickered. My light flickered off and on again. I do hope that that doesn't kill things. That's weird. There's no storm going on outside anyway. Gosh. Alright. In anticipation that I will have to do this anyway. I'm gonna start feeding this with a yellow belt. I'll do it above. So I will split from there, and that's how I'm gonna feed it. Have to clear out some of the gunk. I need to also check on my power. Well then. I'm assuming that I am consuming too much power, rather than this being an issue of feeding. This is an issue of feeding. Okay. Probably both of the above. Thinking about it realistically, this is probably an issue both of the Alright, you just need iron. Well, give me my iron. Large area mining drill. What, you're missing basic boards. Well, if I have an issue with how much coal I'm producing, I've got the mining drills to help out with that. If it's an issue with insufficient amount of turbines, I've got the solution to that as well, because I've brought more turbines with me. I've brought Mark II turbines with me, and I have extra boilers. So I can extend. This is the part of the game where I will start consuming a lot more energy. Those metallurgy buildings really suck energy. So, what is the actual issue? It is insufficient coal having my power output. Okay. This can be rectified. Tell me now, do I have... I do not have radars out here. So I think what I want to do is upgrade. And hey, guess what? Now I can make more! Make more because it's steel and bebs, and I'm carrying around a whole bunch of steel and bebs. Alright, that's all of them upgraded, and then it looks like alright, I can transition this now. Into the improved way of doing the power. Yeah, sure, I'll just grab all of the better smelting. Alright, cool beans. Cool beans. Now, what about you? A few of you are infinite. Essentially all of you are infinite, so I will definitely mine here with these. Squeak through is amazing, by the way, if I haven't said that before. Squeak through is absolutely awesome. So that solves the coal issues. The current coal issues for our power. I can't help but have this feeling that we have an insufficient amount of potential power production. So, what do you look like? Yes, we are insufficient at maximum production. So, steam engine Mark IIs will get placed. Advanced solder, absolutely, we'll take that. Now these steam engines here, while I don't have the iron to produce more, I can continue upgrading what I have because I have the steel to do so. So everything can go to Mark II. That isn't already Mark II. And I should have 4 remaining. So then I can do I don't have inserters. can do that. I am now... What happened? Oh, my ghosties. My ghosties with the mosties. They died. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be okay for a little bit on power. I'm consuming half that I'm producing. And now I'm backing up. And I've got my line of coal again. 19 yellow belts. Wow, I have a lot of grays sitting around. Geode processing 2! For crystal catalysts! That's very important. Hello. How did you get there? Oh, right. I broke a very important process, didn't I? Or, wait. Oh, I must have shift seed. I must have shift seed for it to, be doing this. Alternatively, it's just not quick enough. Now, all of this is going to the individual ore sorting for the iron. And I am producing more of it than I am consuming. So all that's perfectly fine. Next steps, next steps, next steps. Where are these? Ore facility Mark IIs. Don't need those. Could use iron. I'll grab some iron. I consume so much iron. Also consuming quite a bit of copper. But this is backed up, though. Copper is backing up a little bit. I'm replacing the circuits that I stole, but now that I'm not making pipes, I guess, I might have enough copper. I'd rather be backed up. This is nuts that I am actually saying this, but I'd rather be backed up on copper and not producing the iron ore through all of this stuff at this point in time. Because I have much better control with this direct ore making for the iron. I can live without the iron from that process. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Silicon processing. Though it is giving me a lot of iron ore at the moment. Am I just done with this stuff? I need to take care of the issue that I'm coming across here. How do I do that, though? Well, I guess I have to just... that side. If anything comes down here... Oh, and I don't have any inserters, because of course I don't. Then I also have to consider how many... do I really need this many rocks? It's like, do you really need this much stone? Oh, hey, right. That's a thing. That is a thing. Why does it shift? Hmm. Yep, steel furnaces. You. Kill all the gray belts in my inventory. Take those back, and take those back. I do not need them at all. Bebs time! Well, belting Bebs time. They should be this one. If I am not completely mistaken, they're this one. Yeah. And just run it back. I'll actually be needing them for the belts anyway. Now I have a closer... I don't have to run as far for the Bebs. How do I want to do this? Really? That does nothing. There. That works. Welcome to the land of filter inserters. I will actually be needing production of the blue, the express filter inserters, for one of the science packs later, as well as the blue belts. Steel metal mixing furnace, sure, I'll go with that. How am I doing on my resources? I think just fine. Then how is this copper looking? What is my copper used for? It's used for bebs. So I'm making bebs, so the copper's being consumed, but once the bebs back up, copper won't be consumed anymore. No longer consuming copper for these. I'm consuming copper for these, and it's not shoving in nearly enough. Eventually it will back up, though. Again, same thing, but I just don't have the... I don't have the oomph that I want of the copper. Now, I could just set up this for copper, And instead of doing this smelting, do the thing for the copper. So I think that is exactly what I shall do. That's pretty on the money. That is what I will do, and I will do that next, actually. All this tech keeps on coming. Now, here is the thing. The thing. I want a completely separate line with copper on it. I do not want to keep extending out this way to the right and have, like, copper next, and then tin, and then everything else that I need. Because that's going to be rather difficult to belt everything into. You're basically then saying, hey, let's have an ore bus going the opposite direction of our main bus just to feed lines and lines of stuff where there's going to be a lot of repetition as well going down as you need more and more of specific things. And then shipping things, getting things out from the back end of things is also going to be like its own bus type of situation just to get things out. So I'm going to have a separate area down here that will be copper. And I usually limit the furthest, like, I have to bear in mind what the furthest extent will be. I've made my steel production somewhat compact. Definitely a lot more compact than I used to have it in terms of how far it pushes outward. Because I could have this induction furnace with a one-tile gap downwards, so then push everything about half that induction furnace down, and that's the general idea. And then have the set of six basically existing outside here. So I have to bear in mind the furthest extents. Electric boilers sound pretty nice. Now I'm going to... Have I hotbarred any of my metallurgy stuff? Probably not. Doesn't look like I have. So I will start to do so. Where is induction, and then I guess there. Not like I use those hotkeys anyway. And I notice I need more casting machines. And again, I'm not doing the Mark II machines. Partly because I don't feel like mucking around with trying to put enough of these ore processing guys down to adjust for the difference in the speed, and it's not like it really matters anyway, because you can just add more. It's like, well, more is more. More is more. I will start this here. And same thing as with the iron. In fact, what I should do... Is this aligned? It is aligned! Holy crap, I actually got it in one. I was gonna say, what I should do is align it so that it all Well, at least it starts in perfect alignment. There's not a process similar to this one, though. I mean, but it would still be aligned. It would still be aligned because everything is a set spacing no matter what happens in the middle here, so yeah, we're good. Hello, things. Cobalt steel. This will be copper. It will also need oxygen. And the fuel type does not matter. I should look up, actually, what does the tin smelting, advanced tin smelting 2. This needs coke, so I will definitely need to bring coke down, and the other one is nickel. That's the other one I'm gonna have here. No, zinc. Zinc is the other one I'm gonna have here, so it's... Oh, that's only the level 1. Where is level 2 zinc? Behind blue science, unfortunately. That will be carbon, so I'll need to bring carbon in if I want to do level 2 or 3. The reason why there is another tier, and it will involve the pellet press, and I'm actually getting spacing set to handle the existence of a middle pellet press, because it'll be 2 to 1 on the pellet press when it's all the same tier, the same mark. And although behind the pellet press, we can get into that later, there's going to be some issues on what goes on in the back that may impact spacing. That may most likely impact spacing. And I may actually have to extend things out a bit, because things might not all fit. These guys. Fortunately, copper is near enough identical to the... Oh, hey, yeah, that would be good. Oh. It's near enough identical to the iron plates. Oh, I'm running out of medium electrical bowls. Oh, noes. Oh, noes. And I need copper plates for more medium electrical bowls. Let's do that. Grab some copper plates. It's always going to be the thing that you need at the time is the thing that you're trying to produce more of. It's like, oh, I need the thing that I'm trying to produce more of, so that I can produce more of it. It's always the way. I am apparently also consuming a fair bit of tin. Now that I have the iron feeding in to my belt production, it's now pulling in on the tin. How is that bobmonium doing? Did I ever put a thingy down out there? No, of course not. So I have no doubt that there are likely dead mining drills out there. Or there might be dead mining drills out there. that in. This will be... that one in, and I will need carbon in as well. Oh, do I want it to feed on this side, or do I want it to feed on the other? I want it to feed on this side. Actually, I want it feeding on this side. Because I'm going to have another set up of this next door that will actually not be making copper plates, it will be making bronze. Or do I want this? I think I want this. This will be for bronze, this will be tin. This line will be tin in, which I'll have to set up as well. And I also need, I will eventually have zinc in here. Now remember the whole thing I said about a bus. This is essentially a bus. And I'm gonna have coke and carbon as well. And I'll have oxygen and whatever else I may require. But I am planning ahead. Hello? Rubber! It's a gap of 2 in actuality. Hello, Tex. Nice to see you. Pressure tank. It is a really big tank. Then this will be tin. Also, I'm thinking about this, I will also need lead. This line here with the copper and all that, this is also going to be things like, copper wire coils and tinned copper wire coils and solder coils. So because of the solder coils, I'm also going to need to bring in lead ore. Oh boy. So there's actually going to be lead ore in as well. And then up here, it's iron, cobalt, nickel, and titanium, I suppose. I think I put my titanium up here because there's also a plate called nitinol, which is titanium and nickel alloy. So, oh hey, guess what? I made an oops. But I found it, and I fixed it. So, there. That will be 10. It will need its own coke input. Now, how am I gonna have 4 lines like this come in? Well, I'm gonna have to, like, terminate things. And make use of undergrounds and all that to, if I need to run anything further down. Advanced nickel smelting. That would be ideal to have. By the way, the first 3 will be fine. It's the 4th one that will be the slight pain in the rear. But I don't need a lot of lead. Now, when it comes to... Alright, oh, right. I should at least set these up. When it comes to bronze... Or brass, I should say. When it comes to brass... Oh, do I not? Insufficient steel! Gee, if only I had a sufficient amount of steel to produce induction furnaces. If only I had more steel somewhere. Whoops. That was not... Well, one of them was intended. That's what was intended. I am out of steel... bricks. I'm out of bricks! Oh, noes! I am out of bricks, and I'm backing up on stone, which is not a good thing. Hello, Invar. Invar is not needed for a lot of things, but it is needed for a few things that I may or may not need. So I will only have one thing making them. Oh hey, strand casting machines. I would like some of you as well. Just a few. I forget exactly. 18 copper ingots. Okay. To 6 tin. 18 to 6. That leaves me with 6 copper ingots spare. And 18 tin ingots spare. So it's enough tin ingots spare to produce a full tin plus an extra 6. So I would have an extra 6 tin ingots. And I would have an extra 6 copper ingots. Is there anything you could actually use them for? Eventually. There are certain mixes of things that will use different ratios with copper, so like here with the iron and the silicon, there'll be additional recipes that mix things. And I think there's recipes that don't use certain ingredients. Anyway. Oh yeah, here's a recipe for solder that doesn't even use lead. So you don't even need to make lead for solder. Which is cool. I think the early zinc, though, requires a non-zero amount of lead ingots / molten lead. You need a certain amount to like catalyze the process to keep it going, but you get back exactly the amount that you put in. So once you have enough to keep it cycling, you can just let it go and it'll keep producing zinc. Anyway, this is how this is going to be, just like the steel. Whoops, wrong way. But we are fast approaching the end of the stream. And I guess I'm going to do this here with another one of those. Just to have some symmetry. It's not going to be 100% efficient. In fact, it might make this less efficient. Oh, it is bronze, yeah, so you know what, I'm going to get rid of that, make sure that this goes as fast as it can. Yeah, so I guess as I put down, this produces 240. Okay, so that's enough for 6. As I reach the end of the stream here, I would like to thank you all for watching. What did we do today? Why do I have this spaced this way? I should at least have it one tile closer. Anyway. Well, I took care of our iron issues. There were iron issues, and I decided, well, let's get the individual iron ore sorting going. So I did. I got the mineral catalysts being produced. They are now being produced officially. And oh, copper, bronze. Bronze. Yes, more things. More things happening. Gunmetal, for what good that does. Yeah, so then got iron metallurgy and steel metallurgy, and now I've got some copper metallurgy ready to go, just have to get copper ore in and tin ore in to feed some bronze production, which, yeah, just needs to be lit up with power, and it's good to go. This will be some tin. It will also be feeding 3 of these, which will go out that way. So yeah. That would be it for today. Tomorrow I will be back with more of the Pyanodon playthrough. I am officially backing up on iron, which I can't believe, but I am. I'm also backing up on steel. I've got sufficient stuff. I think it might soon be time to start building things that start demanding some of this production. What do you think? I think we might be needing to do that soon. Start working towards our next science. Start working towards our next circuit. Our next circuit is going to be the white circuits, which if I can find them, I can't even make yet. So yeah, lots of things. We've got petrochemicals ahead of us, and I just wanna, next time I will be finishing up this. I will need to get actual tin ore. I have to do the ore sorting for tin. That will also end up producing some silicon. Alternatively, I can do specific singular ore sorting for tin. I can do railroads. I will probably do railroads to bring in the ore that I need. But until the next time, thank you all for watching. I will see you all tomorrow with Pyanodons.